Okay, so hello to all audience of Métal Zone radio show on Oxygène Radio. We are at the MUSCADEATH Festival 21st edition, and we've got a huge pleasure to be with a band, I'm sure you know, CARCASS from UK, and we're with two members. So first of all, thanks a lot for taking time to answer some questions. Can you first, for the people who don't know you, introduce yourself to our audience?
I am Dan and I play drums.
I'm Bill and I play guitar.
Okay, welcome to VALLET, France for the MUSCADEATH. So, on February of this year, you released a 12 vinyl single, Eleanor Rigor Mortis and there's a Scalpel Blade through Church of Vinyl Records. Can you tell us more about it?
I didn't know anything about
that. Yeah, I must admit, I didn't know anything. I mean, yeah, that was kind of a surprise. I think I heard about that from Ken, our original drummer. He messaged me and said, I hear there's a new single out. And I was like, really?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the lines of communication aren't always very open. You know, something that's a bit blocked.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think, you know, it might have happened around the time there was a shake-up with the label. I mean, it's boring for most people, but behind the scenes there was a change of scene, like, you know, different... What's the word? Different people running the...
different management, yeah.
Different people running the label, basically. So that signified a shift in you know, how things were for us, at least, you know.
I understand. No problem.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It happens sometimes. So let's talk about Torn Arteries, your latest effort release.
We know about that one.
Yeah, you know a little bit about that. Released in 2021. How do you keep up such high standards in your music, and does having a longer break between releases help?
Well, I can only speak for the albums that I was a part of, which is the last two, but I think we're not willing to release something that we don't think is as good as it can be, and I think we've all got pretty high standards, I think, and
they're high by our standards.
Yeah, maybe other people think we've got low standards, I don't know, but I think that's the part of it, and as far as the reason it took so long or taking a long time, I think that was a result of a few things, but firstly because we didn't stop touring.
Was it 5 years?
I guess it was, yeah.
Basically half a decade of touring.
Yeah, 5 years.
And then we did make a record, and then COVID happened, so it sat, you know, on the shelf.
Yeah, that's true.
For how long was it unreleased for?
2 years, I think.
Yeah, okay. So before you know it, it's almost 8 years, and people are like, "Why are you guys so lazy?" And the answer to that is, I don't know.
Because we are, sorry. But yeah, I guess it wasn't that bad. 5 years it was actually, but because of COVID it made it even longer. But yeah, I think it was because we were touring so hard, and because the way we write is there's no laptops or anything like that. We all have to be in a room. And I think when you're touring so much, it's hard to find that time.
We are in a room, but we're just doing different things. You know, which we won't speak about here.
No. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, on this album, Torn Arteries, how was the choice of this very medical title made? How does it come?
Again, sorry.
Sorry. How was the choice on this very medical title made?
That was a Ken thing, right? Was that Ken?
Yeah, I mean, that goes back to when Ken and I were teenagers. We were at the same school, and he made a couple of, I would say, demo tapes, but they were like home recordings, just him on his own. Like, he didn't have a drum kit. He couldn't play drums at that time, and he had a Spanish guitar, which he couldn't play either. But, you know, he made these amazing recordings, and because of the way he did it, everything distorted massively. So it was like a Spanish guitar suddenly sounded like an electric guitar, and the drums, I think he was playing books, like just hitting books or cardboard boxes. But again, everything overloaded into this cheap tape recorder. So it was just this world of distortion and kind of mystery. And I thought it was just brilliant. So that was a Torn Arteries demo, the one I'm referring to there. And I think I mentioned it to Jeff, because Jeff, we didn't really know him at that time. That was 85. And then later Jeff's logged it, and I guess he wanted to use it as the title. Yeah.
there you go. I think that's where it came from. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for this answer. How does CARCASS set about putting together new songs and ideas?
Yeah, that's normally, well, almost always, Bill starts with riffs or a collection of riffs, and it usually starts with me and Bill. We'll get into a rehearsal room, and we just try and make a song, try and piece the puzzle together, try and add things, and then eventually we get to a point where Jeff comes in and he normally rips it apart and changes it even more. And it's, he thinks about vocals, which we normally don't think about vocals. So that's one of the reasons why he does it, I think. But yeah, so it's quite a organic, natural, kind of in a room, figuring out in front of each other, with each other, how we can move on to the next thing. It's very limited technology, which I think is quite a nice thing.
Yeah, that's the one common thread throughout everything we've ever done. It's based on guys in a rehearsal room. There's no other way of doing it for us, because I think our music would sound so different if we started doing it, electronically. I just got no interest in that. I hate sending an email or receiving an email. Never mind the other stuff. So yeah, but let's just carry on like this if we could.
Old school, baby.
Old school. Yeah, old school way to compose. Okay. You already almost play all over the world and did awesome things with CARCASS, such a longevity. Is there something you would like to achieve?
Oh, good question. Have you got any immediate thoughts?
No. I feel like we've achieved more than, at least speaking for Jeff and myself, we probably achieved way more than we ever dreamed of, because our expectations was almost zero. You're looking at a small thing like, we started this version of the band in the 80s, maybe we can make a demo, because we were tape traders. That was exciting. Then we did that, and it was like, oh, could do some gigs, did some of that. And then the next thing was like, we watched some of our friends or bands we respected making albums. Oh shit, maybe there's a possibility we could get on vinyl. So it was always small steps. But, it wasn't like growing up, I want to be a star, because it wasn't that type of thing. I think the reason where we're at today is because we started off as a super small underground band, and I think we've become a bigger underground band. It's never really left the underground. It wasn't designed to,
Yeah, and I guess, I can't really add to that too much, because I've only been in for the last 10 years, but just keeping doing what we're doing, I guess, is a nice goal. Yeah, exactly. Keep playing and
only better.
Exactly. Improving. Yeah.
Okay. So, as I say, the band crossed 5 decades in the metal industry. What would be your advice to young starting bands, metal or rock? Never mind.
Don't spend 5 decades in the industry. That would be. No.
Quit now. Yeah.
No.
We had this question before, and my thing was try not to follow what's cool. Do something that you really want to do because you really want to do it, because there's no guarantee you'll get success in this industry. Again, industry, terrible word. But so you may as well do what you want to do anyway and enjoy it, and do it because you really want to do it, because no one really makes much money, especially in metal music anyway. If you're talking about other types of music, that's different, but specifically metal, just do what you really love and what you really want to do, and make sure it's honest, because I think people can tell when it's not honest as well, can't they? I think it's quite obvious when you're doing something just to make money, or all that kind of thing. Anyway, anything to add to that?
Yeah, totally. I think at some point, whether it's in the early years or maybe a few years on, anybody in a band is going to be confronted with what's their motivation, and there's no good or bad answer to that. But you might stick around longer, as Dan says, if you just do it for the joy of playing. I mean, making music is an end in itself. You shouldn't be looking ahead to like, oh, how is this going to be received? That's in the lap of the gods. It's really not worth worrying about, because you can't control it. and you shouldn't go chasing people's approval. You know, you just bring yourself to the table. Some people will like it, some people won't. Yeah.
Okay, cool. What is your opinion on social networks, digital platforms, technology that is here now? Which do you think is the ideal way for a band to promote nowadays its work?
See, I mean, this is probably quite controversial, but I think social media, if it's used correctly, I think is a really good thing, because I'm not saying it is used correctly all the time. I think it's probably not used correctly a lot of the time. But I think, especially in your era of starting being in a band, especially, there were so many gatekeepers, you know, to be able to get your music out, to record an album, to record music. Whereas now, all of that's gone. You can do everything yourself. With a laptop, you can be an entire, you know, you can do everything. So I think learn how to use it properly. And again, you know, don't take it too personally. Don't worry about what's cool. Don't worry about, you know, just try and be honest and use it, because it's free. It's free as well. Social media is free, which, you know, again, back in the old days, that wasn't even an option. So I think there's a lot of positives to it. There's a ton of negatives as well, but I won't go into that because everybody knows everybody knows the negatives. But anyway, I don't know if that's
Yeah. I mean, it's all about playing. I mean, you simply can't go wrong if you play all the time. I mean, just the very fact that things are so online now, that can be a distraction. People might think that they're really working on their music, and they are to a degree, but perhaps they're expending more energy on the laptop. It's very difficult, I would imagine. You know, it's a huge thing for young people. But I don't see how can you go wrong if you rehearse loads and play loads of shows. I mean, that's only going to be a good thing. Experience is everything, you know. Unless you've done something repeatedly, it doesn't really get into your bones, into your system, you know.
Find the right balance.
Yeah.
Okay. So, looking back at your childhood, can you tell us in which musical environment did you grow up?
Yeah. I'd say no one in my family was a musician, but apart from my uncle, played a bit of guitar. But my parents loved music, and they were very supportive. Always playing music, listening to music, talking about music. But yeah, no one really played anything. I was the first one, I think, that played any instruments. So, but yeah, very supportive and very musical, just not technically musical. And they're still like that now, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly the same for me. Yeah, my brother and I mean, our parents had records. We loved music. We got into trying to play very young. And our parents, they didn't try and discourage us, you know. It was support, but it was like very passive support. They just let us do our thing. They probably would have been quite happy if we'd stopped, you know, too. But they're so neutral about it, and that was the right kind of support, you know. So it's good. Yeah.
Okay. What are the future plans for CARCASS after the MUSCADEATH Festival? Can you tell us more? I suppose you've got other shows planned?
Yeah, we've got next weekend we're in Lisbon at another festival. I think it's a small festival like this, which is nice. And then we have Mexico, which is going to be a big one, which maybe not so nice.
Let's not jinx it.
Exactly. And then Belgium, Holland, I believe, and then we're going to take some time off, which we all desperately need. And then next April we're going to announce some stuff very soon, I think. I don't know. I didn't even know about that single. So but yeah, we've got some stuff next year coming up, which we'll announce when we can. I don't know when, but until then, a few more shows and then some time off, and then go crazy again next year, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much. This was CARCASS at the MUSCADEATH Festival. This is the 21st edition, day 2. So thank you very much. Wish you a lot of good things for the band, for you, for your family, of course. And don't forget to buy the albums, to go to the shows. Very important. Thank you. Take care. Have fun, and don't forget to laugh. Very important every day. Thank you.